Darvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Vihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashutara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shila Guru Dev ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashutara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashutara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Sai Maharaj Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashutara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupar Ashutara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Mahabhagavat Srila Gaurkishoras Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupa Anu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadasa Raghunath Shar Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Nama Chay Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री मुन देवी कंग देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। जय श्री राधा गोविंद झूलन यात्रा महामहोत्सव की जय। जय वन सेकेंड। जय श्री पवित्र रूपानकारशी तिथि की जय। जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रीनिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. We'll just do a very brief Mangala Charan. 1 second. Let me just open it up. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Kripa Sindhu Bhyaeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vaivasmi tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina itti vigyaya devi tvang nayamang charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay kshiptashtakama madhe kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, everybody. So today we're going to be reading from Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū. I think it's chapter 21, the last chapter of Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū by Sri Kavi Karnapur. So it's a very descriptive, very descriptive chapter. I didn't realize how long it was going to be though, because the title right now says Gauridas Pandit, the glories of Gauridas Pandit, and then Julan Yatra Mahamotsav, but I just checked the word count and it's 7,000 words. So we won't get time to speak about Gauridas Pandit today. Tomorrow we'll read about him. But today will just be Julan Yatra Katha, because today is the first day of Julan Yatra, this Yeah, this Pavitra Ropanakarashi. So, let's begin. One second. Oh, and let's see. Oh, who's here? Hare Krishna, Sarveshwari Mataji, Sri Devi Didi, Prema Mai Didi, Nitai Mukesh ji, Ganga Mataji, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, and a bunch of other devotees. I don't see your name if you don't write a comment though. So pranams everybody. Huh, interesting, Prajumna Prabhu. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and let's begin. Oh, and this is from the version of Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū. Well, actually, no. First, let's read about. We'll read about this pastime with Narad Rishi instigating quarrel. Let's. I got this from the Vrajmanda Parikrama book about Lalita Kunj, and then after that, we'll read Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū. It's not letting me zoom anymore. Anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, so this is from the Vrajmanda Parikrama book by my Srila Gurudev. He says, to the east of Suryakund, within the lush green forest, lies a very attractive pond. This is Lalita Ji's bathing place. Sometimes Lalita employed some cunning to bring Radhika here to meet with Krishna. This pond is situated east of Nandagaon. Once, Krishna warned Srimati Radhika to be cautious of Devarshi Narad. Devarshi is a sage whose nature is very complicated, he said. Sometimes he causes disputes between father and son, mother and father, or husband and wife. It is best to always be cautious of him. But Srimati Ji did not take particular heed of Krishna's words. And so it happens that one day, Lalita picked beli, chameli, and other flowers from the forest and began to string a beautiful garland for Krishna. After completing it, she discarded it and began to string a new garland. She repeated this action many times. Narad was hiding behind some trees, watching this intriguing scene. He approached Lalita and asked her about her unusual behavior. Lalita said, every time I complete the garlands, I feel that it is either too short or too long for Krishna. This is why I keep starting it again. The mischievous Narad suggested, well, Krishna is playing nearby. Why don't you make him sit beside you and string your garlands by measuring it against him? Lalita agreed and called for Krishna. She strung a beautiful garland for him that was just the right size and placed it around his neck. They then waited for Radhaji, who had earlier asked Lalita to make the garland, telling her that she would be there very soon. However, Radhaji was delayed by the Sakis who were busy decorating her. Previously, Shri Krishna had promised Narad to give him darshan of him swinging with Lalita. And now Narad reminded Krishna of his promise and repeatedly requested him to sit with Lalita on a nearby swing. They both sat down and swung back and forth as they waited for Radhika. In the meantime, Devarshi went to Srimati Radhika singing, "All glories to Lalita Krishna, all glories to Lalita Krishna." Srimati Radhika respectfully greeted Devarshi Narad and inquired, "Devarshi, today you are very happily singing the glories of Lalita and Krishna. It seems that you have some astonishing news. What is it?" Narad smiled. "Ah, what a beautiful scene," he said. "Krishna, wearing a beautiful garland of forest flowers, is swinging with Lalita. If you do not believe me, then go there and see for yourself." Srimati Ji did not believe him, but still she went there. How could he possibly be swinging with Lalita in my absence? She thought. But from afar, she could see Krishna and Lalita on the swing. She angrily returned to her kunj and sat down, deeply immersed in a sulky mood, or man. Having waited a long time for Radhika Ji, Krishna finally went to look for her. He told her about Narad's activities and how it came to pass that he was swinging with Lalita, and thus somehow pacified her mind. He took her to the swing, and Lalita and Vishaka pushed them back and forth. This sweet pastime took place here. Narad Kund and the place, oh, some of the text was cut off. Anyways, sorry about that. But anyways, that's at Lalita Kund. And that's nearby Nandagaon, right? Yes. Lakshmi? Keep your eyes open. I can see you. Sorry. Okay. Now, now we're continuing on. Now we're going to read the last chapter of Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū. It's extremely descriptive, one of the most descriptive pastimes I've ever read. And this is from the edition published by Mahanidhi Swami, or when he was a Swami. I don't know now the situation. Okay, so. And I'm not sure how accurate this translation is. I did check like the first verses against the Bengali, and that seemed pretty accurate, but I don't know about the rest of it. Anyhow, just wanted to give that disclaimer. One second, let me just see who's here again. Oh, Hari Bol, Hari Mohini, Didi. And Mahi Bharat Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams Prabhu. And Champak Mataji. And Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Hare Krishna. All right. Sorry, this text is a bit small, isn't it? Let me see if I can make it bigger. My word is not working. Ah, shoot. Ah, whatever. Hopefully this is big enough for you to see. Okay. One second. All right. Chapter 21 of Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū by Sri Kavi Karnapur. The pastime of stealing Krishna's flute. Lakshmi, you're going to keep your eyes closed, then you have to stand up. Okay. Okay, so after enjoying the Ras Leela in the autumn season, Krishna relishes the pastimes of Holi and having his flute stolen, which take place in the spring season. One night, Govinda and Balaram, they went to the forest of Vrindavan to enjoy the pastime of Holi, a festival of throwing colors, which is enacted either in the morning or evening. The skillful festival performance exactly matched the local customs. Well, one second, let me just make sure my mic is connected. Okay, it is. So the skillful festival performance exactly matched the local customs. The devatas were very enthusiastic to observe this celebration. Seeing the astonishing beauty of Krishna holding his flute and wearing a fresh garland, glittering garments and ornaments, the gopis tied him up in their hearts and sang his glories in charming voices. Krishna and Balaram and their dear cowherd boyfriends performed this pastime amongst the splendid gopis of Vrindavan, who are clever and skillful at playing Holi. The two brothers, however, out of respect for each other's moods of love, played separately with their own groups of gopis, whose minds relished the association of their respective lovers. Interesting, huh? So they played with their own groups of gopis, Balaram and Krishna. Krishna and Balaram sang a special alap in a rag with great devotion. Their artistic vocalizing of the appropriate notes and embellishments produced waves of continuous joy. Under the influence of the holy festival, the land of Vrindavan, having revived its strength after the long cold winter, looked beautiful and auspicious. To begin the festival, the young ladies of Vrindavan, who were adorned with all wonderful qualities and whose bodies looked attractive, smeared with natural ointments, they shyly held water in their hands and offered it to the land of Vrindavan. The cowherd boys and their associates sang lovely songs in Dvipadik and Charcharital. Their traditional Braj Bhasha songs sounded as pleasing as the smell of musk. The accompaniment of kartals and sweet mridangas enhanced the charming vibration of their bangles and ankle bells. Krishna and Balaram played in this way for a long time, and then wandered around the lonely forest, pleasant with rows of young trees. The only signs of life in that deep forest were the maudlin, what's maudlin? Anyways, the maudlin cries of the peacocks piercing the evening sky. The rays of the moon filtering through the leaves of the trees painted the forest floor with beautiful colors. Illumined by the moonlight of spring, the splendid forest atmosphere easily aroused the sweet mellows of conjugal love. Haladar, Balaram, the holder of the plow, looks extraordinarily elegant, moving with his own group of young gopi consorts. One golden earring enticingly danced on Balaram's cheek, and his eyes rolled from drinking Varuni. With his dark blue chadar half falling off his camphor white chest, Baladev looked like the white moon breaking through the darkness. For some time, Baladev, who was a talented artist, danced to the beat of songs in Karkas and Dvipadik. Huh. Is that an English word? In Karkas. What's Karkas mean? Okay, it says the structural framework of a building should be, I don't know. Anyhow. Okay, appearing like the personification of bliss, Balaram sang, laughed, and threw kumkum powder on his beloved gopis, as if sprinkling the sindur of love on their foreheads. Backed by the veena, Baladev loudly sang a song in Dvipadika. Then, in a joking mood, he threw colored powders on the restless-eyed gopis. Balaram mixed with his many gopi group leaders and their companions in the same way that Krishna enjoys with his gopis, like Radhika, Lalita, Chandravali, Shama, Bhadra, and so on. Krishna, meanwhile, defeated the gopis' long-standing pride of their singing skill by playing sweetly but indistinctly on his flute. It's interesting, we rarely hear about Balaram's pastimes. Krishna. Wait, no, you're not. No. Come on. Sorry. Sorry guys. Okay. So yeah. Krishna meanwhile defeated the gopis' long-standing pride of their singing skill by playing sweetly but indistinctly on his flute. The gopis responded by surrounding Krishna and dousing him with kumkum while their bangles jingled joyfully. While tolerating the showers of kumkum, Hari hung his head down submissively like the best of youthful, intoxicated elephants and continued playing his flute song in Charcharital. As Krishna playfully moved with heroic steps, he met with Balaram, who rambled about like an intoxicated elephant, along with his own group of enraptured young gopis. These gopis, who were completely attached to Balaram, gazed at him with tender eyes, conveying their affection for their beloved consort. Lifting their bangle-laden arms, they sang according to the beat and sometimes induced Balaram to sing along. While their ankle bells tinkled in time with the nimble movements of their feet, the gopis danced beside their beloved Balaram and threw kumkum powder on his body with great delight. Understanding the hints from Krishna's glances, the cowherd boys bombarded the gopis with red, white, and yellow scented powders. Balaram's gopis ran away fearfully. Seeing their condition, Krishna smiled and mocked them by playing merrily on his flute. This is so interesting. Krishna's gopis and Balaram's gopis are all like playing holy together. Okay. Krishna's gopis laughed along in sweet tones, while clapping their hands with a strong beat and bellowing, Ho ho, hee hee. Krishna's friends filled the four directions with robust laughter. His anger and passion inflamed. His anger and passion inflamed. Rohini Nandan, roaring like a wild young bull elephant, suddenly spurred to competition. He chased Krishna's companions to defeat them with a deluge of powders. Glancing forwards and backwards like lions stalking prey, Krishna's girlfriends desired victory. But losing their intelligence, they could not decide whether to attack or to retreat. So they all ran away. When Krishna's Gopa friends counterattacked Baladev, he laughed as he squeezed them in his strong snake-like arms and covered them with colorful powders. In the pleasure of playing, Krishna's cowherd boyfriends lost all sense of awe for Baladev as they shouted at him with contorted faces. Being very strong, they managed to get free from Baladev's grip. Gathering in a group, they fearlessly retaliated with a volley of vermilion powder bomb. They fearlessly retaliated with a volley of vermilion flower bombs. Though defeated, Baladev remains fearless. Krishna, bathing everyone in the glow of his soft, sweet smile, said, "What you have done is not right. I do not like it. It is ungentlemanly to gang up on my brother who is all alone." Hearing this, all the boys calmed down. Moved by the emotions of comedy, pride, and anger, Baladev's complexion assumed a ruddy hue to appear like a diamond pillar embraced by red lotuses. The majestic form of Balaram shone like a huge crystal bud reflecting the red java flower, or like a proud pinnacle of ice touched by the pink of early dawn. Baladev looked as elegant as a mountain of white lotuses covered by a forest of pink lotuses inhabited by chakrabaka birds. He looked like a full moon anointed with vermilion, glowing in the red evening sunset. Seeing him thus, Balaram's gopis surrounded him and amused him with blissful singing and dancing as they wandered off together. Meanwhile, Krishna's gopis, their hearts full of longing and drunk with the potion of love, enhanced the festive atmosphere with various amorous gestures, indicating their conjugal desires. Okay, so Baladev, he went off with his gopis, so now Krishna's gopis were more free. Conspiring together, they planned a theft. The gopis said, "How can we steal that flute, which is like a snake scented with aguru, from Krishna's strong arms? What will Krishna do without his flute? It is a good idea to put our beloved, is it a good idea to put our beloved into depression? But when the flute is in Krishna's hands, it acts like a lance to cleverly pierce our hearts with its secret enchanting melody. Therefore, we must get that flute in our hands." Smiling surreptitiously, the lotus-eyed gopis continued whispering among themselves. "We cannot take the flute in Krishna's presence, nor does he ever put it down, even in a state of confusion. He does not let go of it. Among these three possibilities, we must find some way to steal it. The third possibility, taking it out of Krishna's hands when he is bewildered, is the strongest. In order to bewilder Krishna, one expert gopi met Radhika in a lonely place and confided, "Oh, fortunate Radhika, if you really want to take Krishna's flute under your control, then put on a show of obstinacy for some time. The impudence of Krishna's flute playing will flee, and the skill of our singing will become prominent." After the gopis' secret talk, Krishna's close friend Kusumasava, and Kusumasava, who is, we were just reading about him. Who is he? Maybe he's Jagadish Pandit? No, he's not. Anyways, I forgot. We read recently though. And okay, so after the gopis' secret talk, Krishna's close friend Kusumasava. Oh, I think it was Sridhar Pandit is Kusumasava. Yeah. Kolavecha Sridhar. Okay, so after the gopis' secret talk, Krishna's close friend Kusumasava, though not knowing their complete plan, boldly spoke to Krishna. Combining shrewdness with the fragrance of the flowering creeper of frank talkativeness, Kusumasava said, "Oh friend, listen, though the gopis are very learned, Their singing cannot match your ambrosial flute playing. So out of jealousy, they are planning to steal your flute. To prevent this, you should keep your flute with me and sing in a loud voice. The gopis will not be able to approach me because of the power of my Brahminical austerities. Krishna replied, "O friend, we have fully witnessed the great strength of the Brahmins in the pastimes of your spring festival. Without a doubt, it seems that today you will show us the festival of protecting the flute as well." Kusumasava said, "O friend, I cannot protect the flute as much as that person who has given you the ability to attract everyone by the special power of his mantra. But one cannot see such a person in this world. So what is the question of someone trying to take your flute? Do not mistrust a dear friends like me." Krishna said, and sorry guys, I realized that I accidentally copied the previous chapter. But anyways, this is really good. This is great. So yeah, we'll get to Julan soon though. So Krishna said, what will you do if the intensely frenzied gopis, due to being overpowered by bliss, just snatch the flute from your hands? How will you get it back? Kusumasava replied, "You will see the power I have gained from penance." Then taking the flute and tucking it under his arm, he said, "Please sing a song." In a voice conquering the sound of the veena, Krishna sang a song in the Charcharital with great artistry. The Yamuna stopped flowing in a stunned condition. The trees rained tears, and the birds and animals trembled in ecstasy. Hearing the song, the does felt blissful and licked up the drops of perspiration behind each other's ears. It seemed that the streams of sweetness from Krishna's songs entered the ear holes of the deer and then oozed out due to finding insufficient space. The expertly composed rag pleased the ear due to its precise, oh God, I don't know what that's supposed to say. Anyways, there's typos all over here. So anyways, it's like smritis or something, jatis, and 7 notes. Kusumasava proudly boasted, "Oh, how wonderful! My friends, I have never heard such strong singing in the Charcharitala in all my years. Oh, arrogant gopis, you cannot sing songs with alap that give such happiness." Sangit Vidya, a learned gopi musician, said, "Oh, unintelligent one, if Lalita, who is wearing a gorgeous silk sari, can sing better than Krishna, then crooked-minded fellow, you will lose the flute. Let the flute be the wager." Kusumasava said, "Oh, learned one, only I know the science of music. It is difficult for an ordinary person to know, even if engaged in constant meditation on the subject. According to my final judgment, I will proclaim the winner at the appropriate time. This will please the devatas and be agreeable to all." Sangita Vidya said, "Oh, learned Brahmin boy, this is not simply chanting the Vedas, which satisfies the Vedic scholars. Who are you to judge this?" While smiling, Krishna continued singing and hinted with a glance. Understanding his intentions, Kusumasava said, "Oh, vain woman, if you do not agree that my knowledge of music is sufficient for judging, then we should agree that the singing of both parties is equal. Let us see if your singing, like Krishna's, can stun the Yamuna water, bring tears to the trees and creepers, and make the birds and animals tremble in ecstasy. I am certain that no one can sing as zestfully as my friend. Therefore, we will wager the flute. If you want to gamble over the singing, then to be fair, you must offer Radha as a wager from your side." Lalita said, "Oh, stupid boy. Oh, fool that makes the whole world insipid. In all gambling matches, the stakes must be of equal value. We can never equate glass with gold." Kusumasava responded, Oh, worshipable one, do you think that my dear friend's flute is like glass and that your friend is like gold?" Lalita answered, "Is there any doubt? If you want equal stakes, then without fear, you should wager your friend." Kusumasava said, "All right then, begin singing. Then I am totally pure in heart. I will wager my friend. He said, since I'm totally pure in heart, I will wager my friend. Then Lalita, her throat reddened and her eyebrows dancing, gave up all shyness. She gave up all shyness to sing a gentle Kedara rag with boldness and enthusiasm. Lalita clearly enunciated a variety of gamaks, trills, spanning from lower to higher octaves, ascending and descending. Using the full grandeur of the Gandharva scale, Lalita easily surpassed the expertise of the Gandharvas and vanquished their pride. After feelingly singing the alap without tal and Kedar rag, Lalita sang a song in a pleasing tempo according to the conventions of musical taste in the Maharashtrian dialect. Interesting. Lalita sang. This is the song that she sang. The translation of it, at least. The brightly shining moon of Sham, the nectarian disk endowed with all arts, is expert at giving bliss to the lotuses and in agitating the ocean of prem. Krishna, the beloved of Vrindavan, who wears a crown of mango buds while fondly sporting in the spring, is partial to his girlfriends. With great pride, Kusumasava held his arms above his head and pranced about while blurting out, "Hee hee, you are defeated! Oh, Lalita has been defeated!" Unseen, Krishna's flute slipped from Kusumasava's armpit and fell on the ground. Without anyone in the universe knowing, Sangita Vidya quickly snatched it up and hid it. Overwhelmed with vanity, she did not even tell her friends about it. She spoke to talkative Kusumasava. "Listen, why are you so happy over something that never happens? You're prancing around like a madman. Your friends with the fickle ankle bells should consider who is the actual winner." Kusumasava replied to Sangita Vidya, "O one respected by the learned, according to me, your defeat is evident, for the wager was laid for singing in Charcharital. Lalita sang only one little fragment in Dvipadikatal. O one with a happy face, please consider, has she been defeated or not?" Hearing this, Lalita and Sangita Vidya broke out into laughter. Sangita Vidya said, "Oh, uncouth one, what is remarkable about Charchari, Dvipadi, or Jampali? The attraction is in the use of murchana, swar, and gram. Lalita's song displayed the epitome of sweetness. Indeed, just see, the jeweled basins under the tree have melted into water due to the strong currents of her song. By its nature, this water has spread out around the bases of the trees and solidified as sitting platforms. It is true that from your friend's song, the Yamuna looks divine, the trees of Vrindavan become conscious, and the birds and animals seem fully alive. But by our friend's song, they have all become petrified like hard rock. Therefore, we have won. Bring your friend and hand him over to us." Subalsaka said, "O Sangita Vidya, how is it that you have become covered with foolishness like an arrogant person? With such intelligence, can you understand music? Did it not occur to you that it is impossible for this boy to wager Krishna and give him away? It is an accepted rule that a person can wager only one who is his dependent. No one can wager and give away the Lord." Krishna said, "Kusumasava, now you cannot command the respect of others. You have been defeated by these girls who are proud of their victory and mad with the intoxication of the festival. You will fall into an inescapable condition. Therefore, you had better give the flute. Otherwise, my flute will go along with you anyway." Kusumasava said, "Oh friends, but I have won. Showing your strength, you should snatch away their dear companion." Lalita said, "Unabashed you are, hard-working ass, dullard. We have waged on the song I sang, and the song proclaims my victory." Kusumasava said, "Friend, greedy woman, if you speak in such an arrogant way, then take the flute which I have hid." Saying this, He looked for the flute, but could not find it. Oh, friend, out of fear, the flute has run away from my armpit to some safe garden with unbroken creepers. When he said this, everyone broke out smiling. Killing sorry. Is this another chapter? I think this goes into killing Shankachura. Meanwhile, Balaram enjoyed throwing colors at his beloved gopis. At that time, a foolish demon named Shankachura, a lowly yaksha servant of Kuvera, with no sense of propriety, brazenly tied to rob the jewels. I'm going to skip this actually and just go down to Julan Lila. But yeah, this everything goes together actually. Okay. Yes. Okay. Should we just read it all? Let's just read it all because it continues on with the whole pastime. Okay. Okay, so today we might go a little bit over time. I hope you don't mind. Okay, so meanwhile, Balaram enjoyed throwing colors at his beloved gopis. At that time, a foolish demon named Shankachura, a lowly yaksha servant of Kuver with no sense of propriety, brazenly tried to rob the jewels of Balaram's gopis. As if called by death, he leapt in front of them. Shankachura resembled a man delirious from the hot sun, leaping from a tall tree into the mirage of an oasis of cooling water produced by the rays of the sun. He appeared like a foolish grasshopper, jumping into the fire while thinking it to be the effulgence of a forest of succulent herbs. He resembled a frog leaping at a snake in order to grab the jewel on its hood, or an antelope approaching a lion with the idea that his shining mane is a field of ripe grains. With a crest jewel firmly fastened to his turban, Shankachura raised his arms and frightened the girls. Trembling like deer seeing a powerful wolf, the gopis cried out, "Oh, Balaram, Krishna, please protect us." Before Balaram heard those painful cries, Krishna quickly stopped his holy pastimes and instantly went there. The yaksha fled in haste, but Krishna ran after him so quickly that his feet did not appear to touch the ground. Balaram, angry at the disturbance, also ran after him. Seeing heroic Krishna and Balaram in hot pursuit, the rascal hurled the dirtiest insults and he discarded the jewels. Filled with anxiety, Shankachura rapidly fled for his life as if mounted on an airplane. Displaying intense anger, the demon roared while running away, and then he started shaking from exhaustion. As Krishna chased the demon wherever he went, he looked like the king of lions running down a regal elephant, or Garuda chasing a snake, or like a hawk pursuing a crow. That best of all men, who happily pleases his surrendered servants, grabbed the yaksha by his hair. Though Krishna's hand is as soft as a lotus, it became as hard as the back of a tortoise when he makes a fist. Using his fist, Krishna removed the wicked demon's head along with his crest jewel. It was a high-quality effulgent gem of fine workmanship, pleasing to look at, and famous for its beauty. Feeling excessive delight, Krishna gave the jewel to his elder brother as his consorts looked on. Now, continuing on, Krishna searches the gopis for his flute. Okay. In a playful mood, Krishna met again with his beloved gopas and gopis who are expert at singing proper scales, notes, and fading notes. Krishna celebrated his eternal pastimes with these eternal associates, the personified touchstones of all the pleasure arts. Krishna's meeting them resembled a sputtering wick regaining its bright flame by adding a new supply of oil, like a dried up pond filling with water during the monsoon season, or like a dilapidated palace restored by repairs. Pretending to search for the flute, Krishna made false accusations while approaching different gopis. Accosting one gopi, Krishna said, "You are the thief. Going to another, he said, "You are the thief. You are the thief. You are the one who's stolen my precious flute." Coming up to Chandravali's assistants, whose hearts melted with love, Krishna rudely ripped open their bodices to search for the flute. They responded by scolding him with frowning faces and charming smiles. The gopi said, "Oh, associate of Kusumasava, such bad conduct is just what we expect of you." Wow, that's interesting. These are the gopis are like these are Chandravali Sakis, are her assistants. It's interesting that they're also showing a little bit of Vamya Bhav here. So those gopis said, "Oh, associate of Kusumasava, such bad conduct is just what we expect of you. How could the flute slip from your hand and hide in our bodices? If we have stolen your attractive flute, then you may punish us severely. But if it is not true, then we will take your necklaces and Kostuba jewel as a wager." With great pride, Chandravali said, "Oh, arrogant fellow who gives pain to women, Kusumasava has forcibly taken that flute, which we wanted to steal from your hands. Don't you remember?" Kusumasava said, "When you say the flute we wanted to steal, you show your intention to steal it. What proof have you that I forcibly took the flute?" Chandravali replied, "All the witnesses are here." Kusumasava retorted, "They are all my enemies." Chandravali said, "Your friends there is also a witness." Kusumasava said, "That cannot be true. Then why did my pure-minded friend open your clothing to look for it? Therefore, it is certain that you ladies have stolen this best of flutes. Your statements have proven to be downright lies." After speaking like this, Kusumasava, who is clever, fearless, and effulgent, again spoke to Krishna. He said, "Sangita Vidya, the goddess of music, has stolen your flute, not these gopis." Hearing this, the clever Sangita Vidya became afraid and, with a graceful gait, went to see Lalita. Remember before, it said that Sangita Vidya did not tell anybody that she stole the flute. That was only she knew that. With a sly glance, she passed the flute to Lalita without anyone's noticing. Seeing Sangita Vidya's gestures and movements, Kusumasava said hotly, "Friend, this Sangita Vidya has really stolen the companion of your hand, the flute. She definitely took it. When we jokingly mentioned her name, intending it to mean the presiding goddess of musical knowledge, she took it as the meaning herself, and thus felt fearful. That is a sign of the thief." Hearing this, Sangita Vidya stepped forward while Lalita hid the flute behind her back. So with an astonishing smile, Sangita Vidya said, "Oh, little boy, what is this? You are a big pit of deceit. How could I ever steal the flute while playing in the holy festival? You are heartless. What use have I in stealing the flute? If you accuse people of lying, please understand that you are committing a serious sin. You talk too much. You are the incarnation of injustice. It is not necessary to speak such false words, so go away. Today, I have been merciful and spared you from punishment." Everyone broke out in mild smiles upon hearing her words. Krishna, smiling all the while, derived more pleasure from boldly attacking the gopis while searching the flute than from his intimate pastimes with them. Surrounded by the gopis, who could not be submissive because of their innate bold natures? Krishna, wearing a forest flower garlands, finally stopped the search. Disregarding Lalita's show of pride that always manifests newer and newer features, Krishna touched her with his lotus hand. Lalita, a master in all arts, secretly slipped the flute into the hand of the daughter of Vrishabhanu, and then, devoid of fear, she spoke without hesitation. Lalita said, "O killer of Aga, though I am innocent, you insist on touching me due to being mad with the pride of love. I will stop this display of impudence born of your pride. I am not lying. I do not have your flute." Saying this, Lalita opened her bodice to prove it. Showing her brilliant white teeth as she smiled, Lalita continued, "O one under the spell of pride and lust, please remember that when you ran after Shankochuda, possibly your flute fell to the ground. Your attempts to corner me have proven fruitless." Kusumasava said, "O friends, the thief must be Radha." Krishna replied, "Intelligent one, it must be as you say. Radha has the flute, so I will search her." Just when the crest jewel of witty behavior started to search Radha, a dear friend of Balaram happily presented the Shankochuda crest jewel to Radha, saying, "O Radha, endowed with all qualities, listen to me. Balaram is offering this jewel to you, so please accept it." The incredible effulgence of Shankochuda's crest jewel lit up the heavenly planets. It brought more happiness than the 8 mystic siddhis. As Radha gladly extended her hands to accept the jewel, her bodice slackened, and the flute fell to the ground, and the flute fell on the ground. Kusumasava's face lit up. He slapped his armpits, twisted his neck, and stepped in a crooked manner, contorted his body, clapped his hands, and laughed in a how do you say that word?
Raucous.
Okay, raucous voice.
This is Rag Kedar, by the way. Can you hear it? Rag Kedar?
Oh, Rag Kedar. Oh,
what
wow.
Lalita Devi was singing. I'm just listening while you're reading. Haribol.
That's so cool. So surrounded by his laughing, boisterous friends, Krishna smiled and ridiculed Lalita. Krishna said, "O Lalita, unrepentant one, you've spoken truthfully. While running after that demon, my flute, seeing our preoccupation with the jewel of Shankochuda, felt neglected and it fell on the ground." Sorry, I spaced out for a second. So this is Krishna speaking to Lalita. Okay, it says, "Oh, an unrepentant one, you have spoken truthfully. While running after that demon, my flute, seeing our preoccupation with the jewel on Shankochuda, felt neglected and fell on the ground. Now seeing Radha's preoccupation with the same jewel, my flute has again become angry and fallen on the ground." Kusumasava said, "Such intelligence of Brihaspati cannot be found in anyone of your age. It is not astonishing that Radha, whose perfect, faultless, and auspicious form takes away my friend's intelligence, has also stolen his enchanting flute, whose form is inauspicious and full of holes. But Krishna, the amazing thing is that you saw that I had taken the flute from you. So how did they get it? Oh, friends with the hue of a tamal tree, Damodar, rejoicing with pleasure. Oh, Damodar, rejoicing with pleasure, took the flute and displayed it sweetly. And as the beautiful gopis displayed various symptoms of ecstatic bliss, the festival came to a close. Oh, sorry. Anyhow, all right. So there's punctuation marks missing, so it's okay. So now we finally come to chapter 22, the swing festival pastimes. But yeah, that's very sweet. I've never heard it this way before. I think this is supposed to be a period here. And then it's supposed to be Damodar, rejoicing with pleasure, took the flute and played it sweetly. And as the beautiful gopis displayed various symptoms of ecstatic bliss, the festival came to a close. Okay, so now chapter 22, the swing festival pastimes. The stealing of Krishna's flute occurred in the middle of springtime, of the springtime holy festival. On another day, Krishna performs the sweet festival, the swing festival, which is also sweet, the Julan Yatra, which is the perfect object of meditation for those desiring a taste of devotion. On that day, the sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna far surpassed the sporting of the demigods and their wives. It far surpassed the sporting of the demigods and their wives and the celestial gardens. This chapter describes Krishna's ecstatic swing festival, which is incomprehensible to the 3 worlds. The swing festival was held in a special place in Vrindavan, which was bordered by a line of desire trees of equal height, with round trunks and branches whose ends intertwined, leaving a bare space in the middle. The line of trees, you can try to picture this all in your mind because this is very descriptive. Okay, so it was bordered by a line of desire trees of equal height with round trunks and branches whose ends intertwined, leaving a bare space in the middle. The line of trees appeared like a wall of sapphire jewels. Besides the birds inhabiting those trees, the presiding deities of the forest had placed various items in the trees, including chamars, silk cloth, long strands of pearls, jewels, fruits, and flowers. A square-shaped golden stage stood in the center of the decorated trees. In the middle of the stage was a jeweled kunja with 4 doors. 4 Hari Chandan trees stood as pillars in the corners of the kunj. The intertwining of the tree's upper branches formed an overhead canopy. Okay, so the upper branches of the tree, they were intertwined and they formed an overhead canopy. The swing hung on the swing hung on thin golden ropes tied to the branches of the Hari Chandan trees. This arena appeared in the center. Each gopi group leader had a personal kunj with a swing in the 4 directions radiating from this central arena. Okay. So each gopi has their own kunj. But in the middle is a stage with a jeweled kunj with 4 doors. Okay, 4 Hari Chandan trees stood as pillars in the corners of the kunj. And then, and then the other arenas, lined with pleasant Devataru trees, radiated green all around and resonated with the singing of young cooing birds. They served as embodiments of festivity for the entire earth. One swing sung from each pair of trees, and sitting platforms for the gopis encircled all the bases of these trees. Golden chains tied securely to the branches of the trees hung down in straight lines. In the center arena, 4 lines of swings belonging to different group leaders faced the 4 doors of the main kunj. Herds of deer frolicked about joyfully in the flat, open land surrounding the kunjas. The hearts of everyone immediately flooded with joy just by seeing these areas, which were illuminated by chintamani gems and by trees as bright as coral. The top branches of the trees joined to form natural, pleasing green canopies. Gazing upward forever, one could not find the tops of those tall trees. The moonlight filtering through the canopies of the trees made small filaments of light on the forest floor that looked like piles of sesame and rice. Thinking it food, the female deer tried to lick it. The 4 kunja mandaps, the raised platforms, were so similar that even the devatas could not distinguish them only by their placement in different directions. In those areas, the Vanadevis, the forest goddesses, they had stretched a canopy in preparation for the swing festival. The scattered moonlight appeared like pearl belts taken from the deities of the directions, broken by the steady winds, and broadcast on the earth out of respect for the land of Vrindavan. It appeared as if all the stars in the sky, in great bliss, left their positions to come offer respects to the land of Vrindavan. You ever heard a description of like that? All the stars in the sky, in great bliss, they left their positions to come offer respects to the land of Vrindavan. That's the streams of moonlight showing on the grounds through the intertwining trees on the top. Yeah, like that. Okay. Pieces of rustling silk cloth from the goddess of the sky formed the rooftops of the kunjas and hung down quivering like tongues trying to lick the dust of Vrindavan. The nets of pearls hanging from that cloth were swinging gently in the soft breeze and pleasantly resounding like tinkling ankle bells. The forest gods had decorated the canopies with strings of various kinds of fruit, and with fine scented chamars resembling white lotuses from the sky, or swans flying up from the lake of moonlight. The swing arena carried the celestial scent of aromatic aguru fumes, drops of perfume squeezed from the kalpadrum trees, and piles of camphor dust, which made lines of white smoke in the sky. Impatient and anxious to begin the swing festival, the devatas and their wives, the siddhas, the vidyadharas, the charanas, and the kinnaras played their instruments as they arrived in Vrindavan in their innumerable celestial airplanes. In a jubilant mood, the gentle goddesses from different forests, carrying various festival ingredients in their hands, assembled in Vrindavan. With friendship, kindness, and all good qualities, they finished decorating the swing arena and built an impressive entrance with the best garlands. From all directions, flocks of joyful birds came fluttering to broadcast the sweetness of the swing festival. They perched peacefully on the twigs and branches of the trees around the arena. Eager to see the wonderful swing festival, the birds sang the glories of Krishna, while their own hearts swung in delight. Forgetting all troubles and impelled by curiosity, varieties of deer gathered in the kunjas. They stood as motionless as figures in a painting. Appearing as if they had not been attracted to the forest by the sound of Krishna's flute, had not abandoned their household duties, and not opposed their elders. The doe-eyed gopis, like touchstones for pleasurable pastimes, suddenly manifested out of nowhere, as if coming directly from the desire trees. Colored with kumkum, their loins glistened ready for dancing. They wore fluffy petticoats covered by fine silk dresses extending to their ankles. Glittering bodices beautified their breasts. Their effulgent bodies were adorned with festive colored sashes and tinkling waist belts. The soft, rounded shoulders of the gopis rivaled the flower bow of Cupid. The gopis had tucked flower arrows in their girdles and held flower bombs in their hands. So they had flower arrows in their girdles, and they had flower bombs in their hands. The arena of the artful, amusing swing pastimes. The blissful gopis appeared like the incarnation of Rati, the goddess overseeing festive love battles. It's the wife of Cupid, Kamdev. Some gopis had flower pollen sachets hidden in their golden waist belts. Those bags of pollen seemed like the accumulated wealth of their skill in lovemaking, collected over a long period of time for purchasing the jewel of Krishna's mind. Some gopis held thousands of flasks filled with fragrant aguru, musk, camphor, and sandalwood ointments. These thin, delicate flasks would break open with a breath. Others carried ingeniously designed syringes filled with flower essences, kumkum water, sandal water, and musk water. The gopis looked like well-armed soldiers ready for the battle of love. Anxiously awaiting the arrival of Radhika Sham to start the festival, each of the gopis, the jewels among women who were more beautiful than the soldiers of Cupid, thought that she would swing first. The gopis entered the 4 areas around the main arena while discussing this among themselves. Out of excitement, they made a din with their loud laughing that resembled the sweet cooing of the cuckoos. Krishna entered the swing arena with his left arm resting on Radha's shoulder, holding his flute. In his right hand, Krishna twirled a lotus flower while his bangles chimed happily. A pleasing peacock feather topped his reddish turban that tilted attractively to one side. Krishna's elegant earrings and ear lotuses swung in the breeze created by the bees circling his head. Fine cloth kissed his limbs, lit by the jewels of his crown and bracelets. Krishna shone attractively with his pearl necklaces tinged red from the rays of his Kaustuba jewel. Light, delicate footsteps accented his graceful yet playful gait. Jeweled anklets and bells adorned his lotus feet. Krishna, his splendid lips shining, appeared somewhat drowsy from chewing betel nut. Yet his effulgence easily defeated the combined radiance of all the jewels adorning the ladies in heaven. Krishna's effulgence took the shape of a jeweled mace to announce his entrance into the bower of jeweled trees. As Krishna and his servants ascended the dais surrounding the swing, the birds screeched, "Victory! Victory!" The trees and creepers felt such rapture that their limbs erupted with tiny bumps, and honey streamed down like torrents of tears. When the peacocks stared at Radha and Krishna, they thought that they were seeing dark rain clouds flashing lightning. Though knowing Radha and Krishna from before, due to their unprecedented love, the peacocks madly cried out, "Kill, kill, kill, kill." Who are these two persons? Kill, kill. Kill means who. Who are these two persons? Different celestial denizens joined Krishna and the gopis to celebrate their Julan Leela. In attendance, there were charming charanas, male and female king purushas, and the wives of the siddhas beating expertly on madal and panava drums with their delicate hands. The spotless heavenly damsels from Svarga and the apsars directed by Urvasi held chamars as radiant as waves in the Mandakini river. They showered fragrant flowers from the Nandakanan gardens, which glittered like stars as they fell through the sky. In this atmosphere, Krishna mounted the attractive, comfortable seat of the swing. Krishna looked like a regal crest jewel sitting on the cotton seat. The cloth covering the seat was wider than the foam that appeared during the churning of the milk ocean. Shining pillows also adorned the beautiful seat. Seeing that amazingly wonderful swing purified the vision and empowered the eyes to see other objects in a fresher way. While the devatas played sweet music, Mukunda and Radha marveled at the intricate workmanship of the jeweled lamps illuminating the swing. Trembling out of ecstatic love, Radhika and her friends sat beside Krishna, who rested his left arm on Radhika's shoulder. When the Lord ascended the exquisite swing and displayed his sweet beauty, which defeated the fickle currents of a river of nectarian beauty, the devatas and their wives lost all composure. As the ardent desire of the devatas' hearts to get a closer view of the divine couple moved out of their hearts to express itself, it choked their throats. With that hope, they left the middle of the sky and descended to the more favorable lower borders of the sky. When lotus-eyed Chandravali and other gopi group leaders beheld the especially intimate feature of Krishna sitting upon the swing, their eyes sparkled with blissful love. The gopis, adorned with colorful makeup and tinkling belts, mounted their respective swings and loudly sang sweet songs in the appropriate tempo. Chandravali and her group sat facing Murari. Bhadra and her associates sat on his right. Shama and her followers on the left, and Dhanya and her assistants sat behind Murari. Okay, so they're on all four sides of Krishna. Crowding the four outer yards, the other joy-filled gopis sang melodious songs with the finest artistic skill. Their effulgent complexions conquered a garden of golden creepers. As they softly vibrated their seven-stringed venas, the gopis produced pleasing ambrosial music of unequaled excellence. Holding on with one hand and swinging their bodies, the gopis moved gaily on the swings as swarms of bees followed them. Only holding on with one hand. With their free hands, the gopis took fistfuls of powder from the bags tucked under their belts and forcefully threw it into the air while their bangles jingled along. Scattered here and there by the wind, the colored powders spread a red hue through the sky, like a screen of fresh java flowers. The devatas, anguished by this obstruction to sing Krishna's pastimes, repeatedly showered flowers to remove the recurring screen of dust. It appeared the clouds dripped flower nectar. As the manjaris gracefully pushed the swings, Vrinda and others shouted, "Jai Hoy! Jai, did it say Jai Ho? I think it's Jai Ho, Jai Ho. While blissfully absorbed in singing, Radha and Krishna hurled colored powders on the gopis. When Chandravali and other Sakis returned the volley with their powders, Radha and Krishna revealed a unique state of fresh beauty. As the powders thrown at Krishna blew away in the wind, the gopis filled their reddened hands with sandalwood powder and other fragrances to bomb Krishna again. Radha's friends, who were experts in shooting pitchkaris full of sweet-smelling colored water, they assembled around the swing of Radha and Krishna. Suddenly, Chandravali and her Sakis attacked Radha and Krishna with pitchkaris full of color. With their jeweled pitchkaris loaded with scents and glittering like the moon, Radhika's Sakis counterattacked Chandravali and her group with a fountain spray of color. Aimed mainly at Chandravali, that spray of liquid scent did not even once touch the bodies of Radha and Krishna. Gathering their forces, Radhika's Sakis, who were eager to win the battle, shouted, "I am winning! I am winning!" In the pandemonium, a few more gopis picked up pitchkaris and wildly squirted other gopis. In the excitement to win, some bottles of liquid fell and broke, releasing thick streams of aguru and sandalwood-scented liquid over the ground. When the flower bombs being forcefully thrown from all directions came too close to the son of the king of Vrindavan, the gopis deflected them. If, however, any bomb happened to hit the dark blue body of Krishna, Radhika happily wiped it off with her soft hand moistened from perspiration. Feeling disturbed, Krishna lost his composure upon seeing the condition of the gopis. He was afflicted with pride and apprehension. To increase the pleasure of the doe-eyed gopis who gazed at him with shy, downcast eyes like chakoris agitated by the moon, Krishna abandoned all rules of formal conduct and followed the whims of Cupid. Witty, humorous, and controlled by his consorts, the brother of Balaram, rolling his eyes in desire, challenged the groups of gopis facing him on all sides, eager to play holy with him. Wow, so this swing, it's not like they were just swinging. This is a whole battle with bombs and water and like that. So skillful at sport, Hari smashed the gopis in the southern direction with a deluge of colors. While moving on their swings and firing red powder at Krishna, the beautiful gopis appeared as victory flags of cleverness. Then Krishna subdued the playful, blissful girls on the northern side. Next, he defeated the gopis and their associates in the western direction, who kept swinging the whole time while strongly desiring pastimes of enjoyment. Their eyes and bodices defeated the beauty of lakes full of lotus flowers. Then he conquered the elegant, excited women on the eastern side, who were particularly attractive, being seated on swings directly opposite him. While swinging and throwing ruby red powder with his lotus hands, Krishna shared a seat with Radhika, who possessed the limit of all excellent qualities. I wonder if Radha and Krishna's swing in the middle, if it could move in all directions, like if it didn't just go back and forth in one direction, but he could like move over to the western side and move over to the eastern side and northern side like that. I'm curious, because that's what it sounds like here.
Yes, it can move in any directions. There's different kinds of swings, but there is one kind of swing that can move in all directions.
Okay. Wow.
There's some that go up and down and some that go all around, and like it's described here, some are palatial even, with different compartments and levels.
Yeah. Wow. So while singing and throwing ruby red powder with his lotus hands, Krishna shared a seat with Radhika, who possesses the limit of all excellent qualities. After winning the battle of Holi, Krishna, smiling brilliantly, desired to please the different groups of swinging gopis. Starting in the eastern direction, he faced each group, starting in the eastern direction, he faced each group and dexterously moved his swing in two different directions. When Krishna, yes, this is explaining it here also. When Krishna swung east or west, he moved the swing directly towards the gopis in those directions. When he swung north or south, those gopis sat next to him. In the joy of such counter swinging, Krishna's necklaces, forest garland, and shining earrings all joined the festival. Okay, so now this is the ending of Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū. Srila Kavi Karnapur will go into some tattva now. He says, Shri Krishna enacts two types of eternal pastimes, manifest and unmanifest, prakrit and aprakrit. With the description of Radha and Krishna's swing festival, I, Kavi Karnapur, the crest jewel of Rasiks, conclude the book entitled Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū, which parallels the Vrindavan pastimes of the Lord described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I have not described the Bhagavatam chapters about the gopis' songs of separation, the killing of Arishta and Keshi, the coming of Akrura, and entering the arena of Kamsa, because I consider them unsuitable to the sweet mood of Madhurya Vrindavan. This book's all about the meeting pastimes of Krishna, no separation in this book. The confidential pastimes of Krishna, the embodiment of transcendental wonder, are eternal by nature and constantly present in their manifest and unmanifest forms. What is the proof that Krishna's transcendental abode of Vrindavan exists eternally, though invisible to the material eye? In answer to this query, the Srimad Bhagavatam states, Jayati jana nivaso, devaki janmavado, yaduvara parishatsvar, dorbir asyan adharmam, stira chara vrijinagna, susmita shri mukena, vrajapura vanitanam, vardayan kamadevam. The meaning is, Lord Shri Krishna is he who is known as Jananivas, the ultimate resort of all living entities, and who is also known as Devaki Nandan, or Yashoda Nandan, the son of Devaki and Yashoda. He is the guide of the Yadu dynasty, and with his mighty arms, he kills everything inauspicious, as well as every man who is impious. By his presence, he destroys all things inauspicious for all living entities, moving and inert. His blissful, smiling face always increases the lusty desires of the gopis of Vrindavan. May he be all glorious and happy. So that's almost the last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. One of the last verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. 10th canto, 90:48. The eternal nature of Krishna's pastimes is established by using the present tense in the Bhagavatam verse quoted above. Yes, not saying, yeah, it's all in the present tense. It should be understood that the eternality of Krishna's pastimes is preserved by his inconceivable energy, his achintya shakti. This spiritual energy produces both manifest and unmanifest abodes. One cannot say that Krishna, who possesses inconceivable energy, does not have the power to maintain eternal places of manifest and unmanifest pastimes. Nor can it be said that his young lovers, the lotus-eyed gopis of Vrindavan, cannot be divided into different groups such as Nitya Siddha gopis and Sadhan Siddha gopis, like the Shruticharis and Municharis. Nor can Vrindavan, the place of his transcendental pastimes, exist in an unmanifest state. Why can't the pastimes of Hari and Vrindavan be both manifest and unmanifest eternally? O person fond of arguing, give an answer to this one question. Do the manifest and unmanifest pastimes exist eternally and simultaneously? There are millions of universes, and as a particular pastime ends in one universe, it simultaneously manifests in another. If they do not start in a particular universe, what is the question of disappearing? According to this method, the manifested pastimes remain eternally, always situated at some particular place. It is just like the sun, seemingly moving through days and nights and appearing sequentially in all the 7 continents. Although a pastime seems to disappear in one universe, it actually continues to exist there in unlimited, unmanifest forms. It reveals itself through different characteristics as described in Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita. How could one Krishna simultaneously enter different temples to marry each of the 16,000 women along with the inhabitants of Dwarka, and also manifest himself in many forms along with forms of all his elders such as Vasudeva? Just as Krishna, without any assistance from his expansions, manifested many forms of himself and his associates in Dwarka. Could he not also manifest such things in Vrindavan? The Srimad Bhagavatam conclusively proves that Krishna is full of unlimited powers. Though he stays eternally in Vrindavan, unmanifest, he goes off to Mathura. In his unmanifest form, Krishna stays in Vrindavan and eternally performs pastimes with the gopis. Krishna also burned in separation from the gopis in his manifest form. It is said, therefore, that nothing is impossible or astonishing for the Supreme Person, Yashodananda, who is full of unlimited powers and beyond all conceptions. If Krishna as Devaki Nandan showed such greatness in marrying all the princesses, could he not do so much more as Yashodanandan, his most perfect and complete manifestation? All such things perfectly befit the unlimited nature of Krishna. Kavi Karnapur, the son of Shivananda Sen, whose very life is Sri Chaitanya, has written this champu with a wealth of poetic knowledge. It has arisen by the mercy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya and by the pure intelligence attained from a remembrance on the lotus feet of Sri Nath. Shri Shri Gandharvika Giridhari ki jai. Jai Shri Jhulan Yatra ki jai. Haribo. Wow. That was amazing. I never read those previous chapters either. Actually in Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū, I've only read the swing pastime, so that was very neat. Also reading about the stealing of Krishna's flute. All right. I guess maybe should we just? It's 8:20. It's already getting late. Anyways, I'm just going to sing it. If anybody has to go, then you can go. I was thinking maybe we could sing the Jhulan Yatra song. Oh, one thing, Gaura Sundar. Gaura Sundar Prabhu in Hawaii, he recently sent me something like he found, it looks like he found the author to the Jhulan Yatra Sang, Radhe Jhulana Padaro Juki Ay Bhadara. Let me just look. It was very interesting. He explained to me who the person is also. Let me just check really quick what Gaura Sundar said. Although there's slight variations of it. I just want to see. Okay. So the author of Radhe Jhulana Padaro Juki Ay Badara is it's Hari Raiji, Shri Hari Raiji. And I asked him, who is Hari Raiji? And he said he's a grandson of Vittalanath, a sadhu in the Pushti Marg. He had disciples lived to 125 years. He was a poet and a Rasik Vaishnava. So yeah, the grandson of Vittalanath, who was very dear, like Vittalanath was very, he had a very intimate relationship with Raghunath Das Goswami and the Goswamis like that, right? I remember Srivas talking about that before. So his grandson. Interesting, huh? All right, so let's find, I'm just gonna share my screen. I sent it out on the Gaudiya Kirtan mailing list last night. Where is it? Oops, sorry. There. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Swing Festival song. Okay, let me make this big. Oh no, it can't get rid of this thing. Sorry, let me, here. We can look at it here. All right. Let me just skip the mridanga. Let me shut off noise suppression. There. Okay. So I'll read the translation. It says, "O Radha, go and sit on the swing. Low rain clouds have come and filled the sky. Give up your sulky mood, O friends. Don't be stubborn like this. You are the dear, highly intelligent daughter of King Vrishabhanu. Decorate yourself with 16 kinds of ornaments and line your eyes with kajal. Don your 5-colored sari and cover yourself with a thin, dark veil. Your playful beloved is waiting for you on the path. O Radha, wherever you place your feet, Sham's eyes follow. Silken ropes are hung, upon which fair Radha is swinging. Her golden arms are decorated with floral bracelets. There's also another version that says she wears, like it's different in Brajrastara and the Hindi Gaudiya Giti Gucha, and I can't remember which one says which, but in one version it says that she wears green bangles. And just recently, Chandrasekhar's wife, Uma, she wears like her arm just full of these green bangles, and it is a custom during this time of the year, during the monsoon season. All the village ladies, they are at least married village ladies, they all cover their arms with these green bracelets, and I just thought it
In
was
Braj
interesting.
also.
And Braj also, huh?
More in the
Huh.
villages, but yes.
Wow, very interesting. Yeah, Chandrasekhar said that he went to her, to her family's house, and he was getting off. There's a train, and there's all these ladies, and there's just like green bangles clashing all over the place, like a huge crowd. Everybody's just, their arms are filled with these green bangles. So, yeah, it's another version. Okay. Let me just. It's not letting me make it go bigger. Oh no, it is. Okay. Radhe Jolana. Sorry, my throat's not very good today. Radhe Jolana Padaro Juke Ai Padara. Shama Jolana Padaro Juke Ai Padara. Juka Ai Padara Gira Ai Padara. Juke Ai Padara Gira Ai Padara. Radhe Jolana Padaro Juke Ai Padara. Aisa mana nahi kije hata chororiyale. Aisa mana nahi kije hata chororiyale. Tum to parama sayane Vrishabhanu ki lale. Tum to parama sayane Vrishabhanu ki lale. O Radhe Jolana Padaro Juke Ai Badara. Shama Jolana Padaro Juke Ai Badara. Saja Sola Shringara Dharo Nainan Kajara. Sajo Sola Shringara Dharo Nainan Kajara. Pehero Pancharanga Sari Oro Sham Chadara. Pehero Pancharanga Sari Oro Sham Chadara. Tero Rasika Pritama Maga Johata Khado. Tero Rasika Pritama Maga Johata Khado. Radhe Jahan Pagadharo Shama Nayana Dharo. Radhe Jahan Pagadharo Shama Nayana Dharo. Dari re Shama Dori Jape Jhole Radha Gori. दारी रे श्याम तोरी जावे झूले राधा गोरी जाकी भैया गोरी गोरी पहरे हाथन गजरा जाकी भैया गोरी गोरी पहरे हाथन गजरा ओ राधे झूलन पधारो जो के आए बदरा ओ श्यामा झूलन पधारो जो के आए बदरा झुक आए बदरा गिर आए बदरा झुके आए बदरा गिरी आए बदरा ओ राधे झूलन पधारो झुके आए बदरा ओ श्यामा झूलन पधारो झुके आए बदरा राधे झूलन पधारो झुके आए बदरा ओ श्यामा झूलन पधारो झुके आए बदरा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद हो राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद हो राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद ओ राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय श्री गुरु ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū की गिरिधारी श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरण मोहन जू की जय नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशतर शत स्मर भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशतर शत स्मर भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशतर शत स्मर भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशतर शत स्मर भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशतर शत स्मर भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय नित्यालल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गौर किशोरदास बाबाजी महाराज की जय नित्यालल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय नित्यालल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय श्री रूपानुग गौरी गुरु वर्ग की जय श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवाश्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय Sarva Abhishtabhadata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai, Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai, Shri Radha Govinda's Jhulan Yatra Mahotsav ki jai, jai, all the Sarva Vraja Devi Gana ki jai, Shri Vrishabhanunandini Shrimati Radha Thakurani ki jai, jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Pavitra Rupana Karashi Titi ki jai. Titi Palankari Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. The Adivas Titi of Srila Rupa Goswami's disappearance day ki jai. Jai. The festival of glorification of Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Ānanda-vṛndāvana-campū ki jai. Shri Kavi Karnapur ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna, everybody. Hari Bo, Manjari Didi. Oh, Manjari left. And Sarveshwari Mataji, Anada Didi, Prem Mai Didi, Shri Devi Didi, Champak Mataji, and let's see who else is there. Who else is there? Wait, let me just open this up. Ah, there. Okay, and Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Ganga Mataji, Hari Mohini Didi, Mahi Bharat Prabhu, Vidyalalasa Didi, and everybody else watching Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for staying the whole time to the end. And see you all tomorrow to begin reading from Sri Radha Krishna Ganadesh Dipika by Srila Rupa Goswami. And also, I don't know what our program's going to be fully today. All I know is that I want to start that book, reading that book, but maybe we'll have some glorifications. Maybe we'll read about Gauridas Pandit. If anybody has any suggestions also, I'm open to hearing them. All right, Hare Krishna. Does anybody have anything they want to say before we end our stream today? No? Okay. Oh, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Very nice Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just one question. Can you just tell me the first line of that song? Really beautiful.
The Radhe Julana.
We just sang it.
Yes, actually, I'll paste it here. One second. I'll paste it so that you have the words to it fully. I'll paste the link.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Where is the... One second. Sorry.
The way you sing, it was like, it feel like we are in the Vrindavan. My video was posed, I was dancing. It was so beautiful, Prabhuji. So beautiful. It made me cry. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Prabhuji.
I mean, the Julan Kirtans are so wonderful, so
yes, so nice. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, so if you look in the chat, you'll find the link there. You can copy and paste the link somewhere else.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
I'll also post it on the YouTube chat so that everybody has it there. I sent it out on the Gaudiya Kirtan mailing list, by the way. If anybody's not signed up to the Gaudiya Kirtan mailing list, you can go to gaudiyakirtan.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and then you can enter your email there. And then every now and then I send out different songs to sing on festivals, like festival kirtans. Okay, you'll find it now on YouTube in the chat. Hey, it's not letting me post. Sorry about that. It's not letting me post. All right. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna. Oh,
Hare
and
Krishna.
Ānanda-vṛndāvana, that melody that I sang, that was, Ānanda Prabhu did sing that melody, but it's not an Ānanda Prabhu melody. It's, there's like a common Vrajvasi song, Natavara Nagara Nanda Bhajare Mana Govinda. So it comes from that. Right. Hare Krishna.
Oh, okay. Wow, thank you. Thank you very much. Dandavat.
Dandavat.